मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्र्यचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ अथ चतुर्विंशतितत्त्वोत्पत्तिप्रकारम् वक्ष्यामः। So, we are basically trying to understand this consciousness which is distinct from the three bodies and three states of experience which is beyond these five koshas, etc. That consciousness is ultimately the all-pervasive. It is the maker of the creation. And consciousness is in all forms. Please understand this, just by understanding Tattvabodha lakshartha, called that I am consciousness distinct from three bodies, does not give you an idea that consciousness is in all the forms, is all pervasive. That consciousness is distinct from three bodies will be dimensionless, that's correct. But that consciousness is basically a cause of the creation that could not be understood unless you take the other part of the equation called Tattvabodha. Understanding the Tattvabodha, analysis of Tattvabodha, if you don't understand, just by merely understanding Tvam as consciousness distinct from three bodies, etc., does not make your understanding complete. We may ultimately say because consciousness is free from the body, therefore it has no dimension, and therefore it is limitless, and therefore it is the cause of creation. How will you know that? How will you know? That consciousness is distinct from body, fine, good. But automatically, how is it a cause of creation? Cause of creation is understand, it is all pervasive. When I talk about a cause of creation means to prove a consciousness is all pervading. There is nothing other than consciousness. To prove that, it should be a cause of creation. To prove that the cause of the pot is the clay. It automatically implies that the clay is all pervading in the pot. So one has to prove this, that consciousness is the cause of the creation, and therefore it is all pervading, and therefore whatever the forms are there, that are the forms of consciousness, etc. So merely by understanding Tattvabodha, analysis of the Tattvabodha will not make the understanding complete in terms of really all pervading consciousness, and therefore we will have to take the other part of the equation. And there is another thing also, to understand that I am limitless consciousness. For that some infrastructure is required. Infrastructure, that body is required, senses are required. The creation is also required to say I am all pervading. The creation should be there. The teacher who tells me all this should be there. Then the Shastra should be there. What about this arrangement? I have not talked about this arrangement at all. And that arrangement is very beautiful arrangement. That's how I came to know. I'm liberated now, knowing this. So even to know this, a infrastructure is required. Who has given this infrastructure? Oh, limitless consciousness. No, it has given this arrangement. How limitless consciousness cannot give you anything. Then I cannot create anything. I have not created the teacher. I have not created the Shastra as an individual. Then who has given this arrangement? Who has given? So ultimately we will have to say some person, definitely a conscious being, who is intelligent, who can create everything, who can create teacher's body and teacher's mind, teacher's vak, teacher's speech, and I also should have a faculty, I should have a brain to understand everything, and I should have a body also for that matter, and I should have all other faculties to know that everything is ultimately Brahman. All this is a part of some infrastructure which is a very intelligent infrastructure, and that has been given to me. I have not created. Not only I have not created, consciousness also cannot create. Then there must be another entity like me, well, who has created me, who has created everything, but definitely not like me as such, because it must be very powerful. If it is just like me, an individual, well, it cannot create, because I am not able to create. I am part of the arrangement. I am part of the setup who has been given. The setup has been given to me. I am part of it. Well, therefore, he must be all knowledge, all Shakti, who has given this arrangement. Oh, then that conscious being and I am a conscious being. That conscious being and I conscious being are different. Then if there are two conscious beings, then definitely two limitless consciousness. Yeah, two limitless cannot be possible. Limitless in that there cannot be two. Then each one will be limited if there are two. Each one is limited automatically. Each one will have its own boundary. Without the boundary, you cannot count number two. How will you count number two without a boundary? Of the first ends and then the boundary of second starts. Oh, then there are this one limitless consciousness. Then I am also limitless consciousness and that also is limitless consciousness. Then we don't have any difference? No, there is no difference. Then if there is no difference, then who has created all this arrangement? Oh, they must be a little different. Oh, he is different? Then he is a different conscious being? Problem. Whether he is different or not different. Oh, equation solves the problem. Equation solves the problem. Equation is only possible when there is a seeming difference and essentially no difference. There only the equation works. That is how we have to come. After completing this Tattvabodha analysis, we will have to analyze the other part of the equation called Tattvabodha. And therefore, Tattvabodha means the one who provides this entire arrangement. An entire arrangement including everything. Not only just for the teaching sake, we have taken only teacher and me and then the books and some setup. Not that. It is a whole arrangement. Whole arrangement is basically a creation. And therefore, we will have to now talk about the creation. And then we have to see that the creation also, when you talk about creation, we will have to talk about the creator. Then only it is a conscious being, right? The conscious being who has provided this arrangement is the creator of this entire arrangement called creation. And that creation is divided into 24 basic factors. 24 basic factors. I mean, the creation includes these 24 factors. That's all. So, we have seen that Atha Chaturvimshati Tattva Utpatti Prakaram Vakshamah. Chaturvimshati Tattva Utpatti Prakaram. So, this, we shall explain, Vakshamah will explain the mode of origin of this 24 essential principles or essential factors. And Utpatti means this creation we have to consider, and this creation is of having a 24 factors. And so, this creation and the creator both will be understood by this Tattvabodha. Tattvabodha means the cause of the creation, the creator, and the creation also we should take into account. And so the cause of the Jagat, well, which will be indicated by this Tattvabodha, we'll have to analyze it. And definitely The immediate meaning of Tat is definitely different from me, because I am part of the arrangement. He is a provider of the arrangement, and therefore he is a provider of the arrangement means he is definitely different from me. I am a part of the arrangement. Arrangement is given to me. He is a giver. Given and giver are definitely different, and therefore Tatpada, who is a giver of the arrangement, who has created all this, and thereby this is, we call it as intelligent arrangement. Well, definitely he is different. So Tatpada immediate meaning is the creator who is different from this Tvampada immediate meaning called Jiva. Jiva and Ishvara both are definitely different. Both are different. If they are essentially different, well, there is no equation possible. But Upanishad, all the Upanishads talk about this equation only. Jiva and Ishvara are basically one, essentially one, and the differences are seeming. Well, then the equation is possible. So we are saying in the immediate meaning, they are different. In the immediate meaning of Tvam and Tat, they are definitely different. But essentially Tat and Tvam are one alone. That is how equation is possible. Entirely different, well, no equation possible. And therefore there is not even seeming difference, no equation is necessary. Right? I told you the example, if you remember, because one day has passed, Sunday has gone in between, so I will have to remind you again. So, like 15 is equal to 15. Then you need not write this 15 is equal to 15. What are you writing? We don't want this equation. 15 is equal to 15. There is no equation necessary. But and then 15 is equal to 14. Oh, you don't write this kind of equation. Don't write this kind of. So apparently, essentially different, no equation. Essentially one, no equation. Then only possibility is the apparent difference, essentially one. And therefore I have told you the equation 5 plus 10 is equal to 16 minus, what is how much? 16 minus 6, right? Or no, 16 minus how much? 21 minus 6. I'm very sorry. I want to have all different, no? And therefore that is why basically, so that is where the equation is possible. So 10 plus 5 is equal to 21 minus 6. Yeah. All are different. All numbers are different, and plus and minus sign are different. And so apparently everything different, but essentially they are one. And that is where the equation possible. So in that case, well, Jiva and Ishvara also will have the same thing. Jiva and Ishvara, in the immediate meaning, they are different. One is using the arrangement. One is a part of the arrangement, which is a given. And Ishvara is one who is a giver of the arrangement. And therefore, giver of the arrangement, if you don't like word arrangement, creation. Creation is a beautiful arrangement, intelligently put together. Definitely some intelligence is involved. Intelligence is involved means conscious being is involved. And conscious being is one who is a giver of entire arrangement, including my body, my senses, and my teacher's body and senses, and the Shastra, and the entire thing. These three things is not to constitute the Jagat. Jagat constitute everything. And therefore, and then sustenance of the body and everything is there, right? Sustenance of body. Sustenance of body means a roti is required. And roti, once the one roti has come, the entire creation has come. One roti means entire creation. One cup of tea means entire creation. If you start thinking, you will find everything is required, including sun and moon, and everything is required. Clouds are required, rain is required, earth is required, everything is required. Everything. One cup of tea requires everything. And therefore, one whole beautiful arrangement that sustains my body. Not tea sustains the body, roti sustains the body, but definitely something sustains the body. So that also should be given. And what not? I will tell you about that. Water is required, then the food is required. Everything I get from this arrangement, from this creation. And then you need a parentage, definitely. Parentage, otherwise how will I born? So parentage is also there. Who has taken this food and water and everything from which, the seed of which I have born, from the seed of that I have born. And not only that, after birth, a lot of people have given me some knowledge. Some people have given me some etiquettes and manners and everything. I mean, the society gives you that. Oh, Swami, you should behave in this and this manner. Don't behave like that. And so all this required. And then you require a Zoom also to understand everything. Ultimately, this, I mean, just don't think it. All things are possible due to laws. There are laws which has been, oh, but Swamiji, but laws are discovered by us. But to discover that law, that the potential to discover also is also given to you. That's the intelligence is given to you in order to understand that. And then the power is required. Otherwise, how the Zoom will work? So the power also is given. Everything is given. And afterwards, if you just talk about some natural elements, everything has been provided. You can think on that manner. Sun, basically, gives you light and energy and everything, and the moon gives you something, and the rains bring everything, the food and everything. Well, and they say even all this, our planets, they also give you. This is just by the way, in order to make you little light. I mean, this they say this. Aditya gives you a brilliance of a mind, basically. That's how Gayatri the people do. Anyway, and the moon is responsible for good emotions in your life. And then this, Mangal. What is that? What we call it as a, that gives you, lot of valor. And this Guru gives you Jnanam. Shukra gives you love. And then this Shani gives you very much interest in spiritual knowledge. What I am saying is everything is contributing. Whether you believe in astrology or not, that's a different issue altogether. But I mean, every nakshatra also is basically functioning for us. And well, due to all of these factors, I am born, and due to all the factors, I am sustained right now. My body is sustained, and therefore I need to understand this entire infrastructure, and then who is a giver of this infrastructure, and then definitely that giver and the given, basically the Jiva and Ishvara basically are essentially one, but then difference is very apparent. We have to understand through the equation the essential nature of me and the Ishvara. Jiva and Ishvara are one alone. That we will have to understand. So that is why now the thing is, the cause of the creation, who is giver of this arrangement, everything, is also a consciousness, limitless consciousness. Then it cannot create anything. And therefore, this limitless consciousness, limitless means you cannot create. Limitless means what? Limitless means there is no different, I mean, if creator and creation are two different things, naturally, if you consider something as a creator and he has provided and he has given this thing, a creation, well, then therefore it cannot be limitless. And if you call it as a limitless, then definitely it cannot become a creator. And therefore, basically, if you say it is just a limitless consciousness, then therefore it cannot create. So we will have to take into account, because ultimately equation is going to prove Tat is equal to Tvam. Tvam is limitless consciousness, and Tat also is limitless consciousness. That is how essentially they are saying. And therefore, apparent difference you are telling in that. Apparent difference means the immediate meaning of Jiva is just it is a part of arrangement. The body is given, the senses are given, etc. And he is a provider of everything. Ishvara is one who creates everything, who provides every arrangement, who is a giver. If that's the apparent difference between Jiva and Ishvara, then definitely we will have to take into account some other factor other than limitless consciousness, which makes the Ishvara, which makes that limitless consciousness as a creator. Because essentially me and he are same. Still, how can he become a creator? Well, then we'll have to say there is some factor which is responsible for this, limitless consciousness to be designated as Ishvara, the provider of the arrangement. for the creation. He becomes a creator. And definitely that must be in terms of Shakti. Because when you say creation, well, definitely it involves a Shakti. And therefore, that the factor which is responsible for the limitless consciousness to be designated as a creator, that factor must be a Shakti. And Shakti must be definitely non-separate from the this consciousness, because we have never seen a Shakti which is independent of the Ashraya. We have never seen any Shakti. Right now I am talking to you, this my speaking power is non-separate from me, the conscious being, and therefore definitely that consciousness, well, is called now a conscious being as a creator. Well, he must have a power of creating, a creating power. And therefore we'll have to see this factor which is called Maya, and by which the limitless consciousness becomes a cause of the Jagat or the creation. So we'll read that. Brahmashraya Satvarajastamo Gunatmika Maya Asti. So Brahman has the Shakti, well, power to create, and that power is called Maya. There are reasons why the particular, because you will have a question now, I know. So you can, why don't you call Shakti? Why you particular word called Maya? We'll analyze it later. But let's first go into the creation. So Brahman has the Shakti, the power to create, and that power is called Maya. And now the question is this power is independent or it is dependent? If it is an independent power, we have never seen independent power, but let's, as a possibility. If it is an independent power, anything independent means it's an independent reality. Independent is what? Independently real. Independence means real. And therefore, Brahman and Maya both are independent of each other. Well, then Brahman is not just only you. Then in the Shastra they call Brahman as is a cause of the creation. Then Brahman is not only the cause. Now if Maya also is independent, then Maya also is independently the cause of the creation. That's fine. Maya is independent cause of the creation. Brahman is independent cause of the creation. Both create something independently. Well, that is all fine to imagine. But then the Shastra says you are the Brahman, which is the cause of the creation. Well, then they are telling you are the Brahman, which is the cause of the creation. Yatova imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti tat prayanti abhisamvishanti tad Brahma. That's fine. But then Varuna says to Bhrigu, now analyze this Brahman as yourself. The Brahman which is the cause of this creation, and the creation is sustained through the Brahman, and unto which the whole creation goes back, that Brahman is you. Means I am the cause of the creation. Then they say you are the cause of the creation, which is Brahman. Now if Maya also is the cause of the creation, they should say you are Maya also. Why they are not saying that? We don't find a single statement in the Upanishad where says, well, you are Maya. They don't say. You are Brahman, they say. Tattvamasi, etc. or Aham Brahmasmi, or whatever it is. Prajnanam Brahma, ultimately Prajnanam Brahma also is a Mahavakya only because the Prajnanam doesn't stay away from this consciousness or this conscious being, and therefore I am Brahman. Ultimately what I am saying is, then if Maya is also independent cause of the creation, they should say sometime, some Upanishad should tell you are Brahman, some Upanishad should say you are Maya. But they say always as you are Brahman. Then it must be so that the Maya and Brahman may not be totally independent. Then what? Brahmashraya, this Maya is, Shakti is basically dependent upon this conscious entity. Well, Brahmashraya means basically this Maya is not a parallel reality to Brahman. It has its being in Brahman. That is Ashraya. Ashraya means the basis basically, and basis for the existence. That is how it is. And therefore Brahmashraya means the Maya which has its being in Brahman, and that becomes, that is the cause of the creation. Brahman, limitless consciousness, cannot be the cause of the creation, but definitely because it doesn't have a Shakti. And if you assume a Shakti, the Shakti must have a being in the Brahman itself. And that is how Brahman lends the existence to this Maya. And so Brahman plus Maya becomes the cause of the creation we call Ishvara. That Brahman plus Maya is equal to what? Brahman. Brahman plus Maya is equal to Maya, Brahman. Why you are saying like that? Because that plus does not add anything. Because basically the being of the Maya is in the being of the Brahman. And that is why. Like, like we say 100 gram gold plus ornament, name and form, particular, is equal to how much gold? It is 100 gram. That's how it is. Any name and form has being in the gold itself, insofar as that is concerned. And therefore, it is only that much. And therefore, Brahman plus Maya is nothing but the Brahman. And well, clay plus pot, anything you can take that way. Clay plus pot is equal to clay. 100 gram clay plus pot is equal to how much? 120? No. 100 gram clay. So that is how Brahmashraya Maya, the Maya, Brahmashraya, Ashraya means a basis. Basis means the existence of the Maya depends upon Brahman. The being of Maya is the being of Brahman. And therefore, Brahmashraya Maya Asti is there. Well, the Maya, Brahmashraya Maya is there as what? As the cause of this entire world. Why it is cause? You are saying Brahman. Yeah, correct. But Brahman cannot be the cause of the creation, being limitless consciousness. It cannot become a cause. For cause, we need a power. And therefore, we assume a power, which has a being in Brahman. And that power is considered as a cause of the creation. But without Brahman, it cannot exist independently. Please understand that. And therefore, the Maya, which has its basis in Brahman, becomes the cause of creation. And thereby, you can say Brahman is the cause of the creation, because Maya is basically non-separate from Brahman. Well, this is how it has been said. And this Maya is basically Trigunatmika. Maya is Trigunatmika, Sattva, Rajas and Tamo Gunatmika. From this entire creation has come, and that entire creation is nothing but 24 factors. And these 3 gunas only are manifested in these 24 factors. That's how the chart I have given you. This chart, if you see there, all 24 factors are nothing but the aspects of 3 gunas. Some are sattvic aspects, some are rajas aspects, some are tamas aspects. That's how I have given you beforehand, so you can look into that. And therefore it is very true. Brahman, which is free from all the gunas, it is nirgunam. Any guna will be there. It will become an object of consciousness. Any guna, any attribute, in general I am talking, leaving aside this topic. Well, any guna is there, immediately it becomes a object of your knowledge. A nirguna vastu only cannot become an object of knowledge. And that is why the space, which has only one guna, just one guna, shabda guna, even it is very difficult to perceive. It is not perceptible. Space is not perceptible. So that's how we have to go to the Sakshi Pratyaksha. We have to say the Avakasha and this time, both space and time are perceptible through Sakshi, because the senses won't work. If the senses won't work, then you cannot infer also. Inference has a basis in perception. All other available means of knowledge a human being has other than perception, it has a basis in perception. That's how Pratyaksha is called Moola Pramanam. And therefore, without Pratyaksha, inference will not be there. Without Pratyaksha, illustration will not be there. Upamana will not be there. Without Pratyaksha, Arthapatti, presumption will not be there. Nothing will be there. And therefore, if Pratyaksha itself cannot comprehend space, then all fail. All other means of knowledge fail. Still we talk about space. So we say space is perceptible through Sakshi. What I want to convey is that if guna is not there, or one guna like this space, etc., it goes beyond perception. If guna becomes more and more gunas are added, more it becomes, or easily it becomes easily perceptible. Things become easy for perception. And therefore, Brahman is nirgunam. That's how Brahman is not an object of consciousness. It is a consciousness. And therefore, well, Brahman is known only through, we have talked about through Shastra, etc. And how it is, Shastra's words also, how they reveal Brahman, that we have seen it. In the Bhagavad Gita also we have seen. Anyway, but what I am saying is, ultimately you find in these 24 factors, which I have given you in the chart, all have either one or more aspects, right? And therefore, from Sattvic aspect this has come, from Tamas aspect this has come, from Rajas aspect this has come. All are endowed with gunas. Entire creation is endowed with the guna. And therefore, if it is endowed with the guna, then that the creation definitely cannot come from Brahman. Cannot come from Brahman. Brahman is nirguna. And this karyam, the creation, is saguna. And therefore, because the karana gunaha karya anuvartante, the gunas of karana only will manifest in karya. If this jabba, you know, this jabba is basically is a karya. It's a product. Then definitely it must have a guna of the karana. Karana means if it is made up of cotton, then only it will manifest this. And with the pot also, you can say anything. Well, pot has all the gunas of the clay, definitely. And therefore, there is a creation which has 24 factors and all have basically different aspects of gunas are there. Definite. Then the cause of it also must be having gunas. And therefore, between Brahman and Maya, definitely you should say Maya alone manifests in terms of this, because Maya is Trigunatmika, and the creation which is nothing but in terms of 24 factors also are Trigunatmaka, and therefore basically the Maya is a cause of the creation. But Maya being non-separate from Brahman, very existence of Maya has been borrowed from Brahman, and therefore Maya is non-separate from Brahman. Then we can also say Brahman is the cause of the creation. Could you follow what I am saying? Brahman is the cause of the creation. Because ultimately, Swamiji, we are going to prove that, well, you are the cause of the creation. Because you are Brahman. And therefore, if Brahman is the cause of creation, therefore you are cause of the creation. But you say Brahman cannot create anything. That's what I say. Limitless consciousness, which does not have any attribute, cannot create anything. But then we'll have to assume one factor. I am telling you this, assume. Please understand this. Assume one factor which has no independent existence, which is a being in Brahman. That is the cause of the creation. So definitely in presence of Brahman, I mean borrowing the very existence from Brahman, and Maya, which is Trigunatmika, which is called the power of Brahman, and that manifests in the form of this 24 factors called creation. So, and well, the name name Maya, etc., we'll be discussing, because other than Maya, there are several names in the Shastra for this Maya. They call it Shakti, they call it Avyaktam, they call it Vyakrutam, etc. They are sometimes called Vidya also. All this we'll see at the end. But let's first finish this topic of creation. So, if these are the three qualities of Maya, and it is non-separate from Brahman, then definitely somebody says that Brahman is the Trigunatmakam. Well, Maya is Trigunatmakam, that's all right, but it is non-separate from Brahman, you say. Very being comes from the Brahman. Therefore, why don't you call Brahman as a Trigunatmakam? No. Brahman is Satyam, depending upon which is the Maya. What is the attribute in the Mithya cannot touch the Satya Vastu. Never it can touch. Therefore, because attribute of the Mithya can never touch Satyam. So, because it is Mithya. So, Mithya Bhuta Maya accounts for this entire plurality. That entire plurality we have divided into 24 factors. And well, Brahman, if you want to call it as a cause of the creation, through Maya we can call it as a cause of creation. Well, it is, we can say, oh, he has, well, Brahman is called Sarvajnaha, Sarvashaktiman. Brahman is the cause and effect, and it is a Nimitta Karanam and Upadana Karanam. Everything you can tell Brahman You can give these different names to Brahman, that Brahman is a Nimitta Karanam, Brahman is a Upadana Karanam, and Brahman is, the cause and the effect, everything. And Brahman is called Sarvajnaha, Sarvashaktiman. Brahman is called Creator, all the Ishvaraha, etc. All this is on account of Maya. How? We'll see that. So basically, see, the Brahman is Satyam and Maya is a Mithya thing. And that is how, being Satyam, it does not undergo any change. That is how Brahmavit apnoti param. They say Brahmavit apnoti param means, knowing Brahman, one gains limitless. So otherwise, if they would have told Maya with apnoti param, well, knowing Maya, you ultimately become free. But basically, Brahman gives, knowledge, through the knowledge of Brahman, one gains freedom. And therefore, freedom means what? Freedom from becoming. Freedom from change. That's a big thing. Freedom from becoming. And all kinds of becoming are there. At the level of physical body also, there is a becoming. One who has gained more weight, he wants to become with a less weight now. One who is looking little old, now he wants to become young. So at the level of physical body also, there is all the time becoming. At the physiological level also, all the time some efforts are there. Like people like me who have a Mandagni will always feel that I should improve upon. People who have a cholesterol, I don't have cholesterol, but I'm just saying, I'm giving my example, so I'm safe. Like I am having a more cholesterol. I always feel the cholesterol level should go down. It's all prana. At the level of prana also, all the time I want some change to occur. At the level of physical body also, I want some change to occur. That is all samsara is. And the emotional level also, I all the time am a wanting person. Every level brings a discomfort. Level cannot bring discomfort. Telling them Atma brings a discomfort. Telling them Atma. It is going to be like that. Emotions, in terms of that, there will not be an ideal mind. I have not seen ideal mind. There is no ideal mind. No, Swamiji, Nachiketa's mind is an ideal mind. That's an ideal. That is just an ideal. Don't try to create an ideal. That's another samsara. To have an ideal mind like this Nachiketa. People I have seen all the time compare with Nachiketa. Then they are all the time frustrated. In the Pujya Swamiji's class, they laugh so much. And when they come out, they are again frustrated. In class they enter, they become light. When they come out, they become again heavy with the big face. Because they always feel that when we will become a Nachiketa. Who has told you to become Nachiketa? No teacher can tell you that you should become Nachiketa. That's just an ideal thing, that we require sadhana chatushra sampatti is required basically in order to appreciate the nature of Atma, etc. That is there. But nothing is ideal. No one can become physically ideal, I tell you, because as many gunas are there in the physical body, so many doshas are also there. And everything in the creation is basically having guna and dosha. Nothing is pure guna. Pure guna. No form has pure guna only. Even the poison which is considered full of dosha has a guna. Really. Some of the poisons are used as a medicine. And there is a great research going on in the world. In Bombay also, in Parel, Hopkins Institute. There they do this research on this, they have shown us. They have taken out the poison from the snake, and then they were shown in the institute what kind of research they are doing so that that poison can become beneficial to the human being. Some medicine, etc. So nothing is, of only pure gunas. Mind also cannot be. Physical body also cannot be. So there are certain limitations all the time. And therefore it is best to be away from. Brahmavid apnoti param. Param means free from becoming. Param means this. Param means limitless. Limitless means free from becoming. Any becoming involves a limitation. And therefore, emotional becoming, moral becoming, all the time I am wanting in terms of all this. And spiritual becoming also. That's another thing. Spiritual becoming. Anyway, chalo. So since I have to know Brahman, well, I have to ask what is this Brahman, and they say, well, Shruti says Brahman is Satyam. Does it undergo any change? No. And then how does it become all? Then it does not become all. It is all mithya. Mithya means the cause of it also is mithya. And therefore Maya, which is the cause of the entire creation, is mithya. Since the nature of the creation is mithya, the cause also is mithya. That is how we say that. Okay, now that's fine now. So Brahman and Maya. Maya is mithya, Brahman is Satyam. Maya borrows the existence from the Satyam. Satyam, that is Brahman, is self-existent. Maya exists with the borrowed existence, etc., etc. Therefore, anything which lends anything which lends existence, well, we consider it as a Satyam, relatively. Anything which borrows existence is mithya. That's a simple definition. Anything which borrows existence is mithya. Anything which lends existence is Satyam, in a relative manner. Same way here, Brahman is one which is self-existent, lends existence to the Maya. Maya is being in Brahman, and therefore Maya is mithya. From that Maya, which is Trigunatmika, entire creation which is in the form of 24 factors has come, and therefore creation also must be mithya. Karana gunaha karya anuvartante, and therefore the entire creation is basically mithya. The cause also is mithya. And with this mithya Maya, the same Brahman which is Satyam is called Ishvara, mithya. He is called Sarvajna, mithya. Because of the Maya we call it, and therefore Sarveshvara, well, it is mithya. Antaryami, mithya. Karmaphaladata, mithya. Karmadyakshaha, mithya. Because the creation is to take into account, so we will also take into account the creator. And creator must have knowledge, etc., with that we are going to talk. And therefore everything, so the limitless consciousness which is Satyam is called Ishvara, etc., Sarvajna, Sarvashakti, etc., etc., Karmaphaladata. And he is called a Nimitta Karanam, he is called a Upadana Karanam. Everything is mithya, because through Maya it is called like that. That Maya itself is a mithya. So the designation given to the Satyam Brahma, all these designations, Ishvara, etc., are mithya designations. It is not true. In reality, it is just a limitless consciousness. Right now also it is limitless consciousness only. There is nothing other than that. But since we want to account for all this arrangement, because of which I can know everything, that I am Brahman, limitless consciousness, then a question would arise, who has provided this arrangement? And so we are taking into account that thing. Anyway, so now let's go into the creation part. You see, one thing is very definite, is that the body is given, a set of senses, etc., are given to me. So as an individual in this world, even the parentage is given to me, the childhood is given to me, date of birth, etc., is given to me, and I live here on a planet, on this planet for a particular length of time also is given to me. Well, death also is given to me. That's not just me. The world which I encounter, I experience also is given to me. I mean, planet Earth, the systems, the sun, moon, etc., and everything is given to me. So there are a lot of things in this scheme, and well, which we do not know, but whatever they are given, even whether I know or I don't know. And many things I don't know, and many things I know, but whatever is known or unknown are given. So solar system itself is a part of this galaxy, and the Milky Way, that is also given. Black hole is given, and the time and space in which the entire this creation universe is there, that is also given. And a faculty to know all this and explore all this, well, also is given. So this everything, the whole setup is given. That is because we want to point out to the giver ultimately. So that is how we are saying this is given. That's the Pujya Swamiji's word. Always anything you encounter in your life, please tell it is given, so that someday it will remind you that who is a giver. Let me find out who is a giver ultimately. So when I look at myself as an individual, I find that I have no right to any kind of a authorship, sole authorship. I could not say that, well, this particular thing is not given. I have created. Like that, I cannot tell. So, and even if even if I tell that I basically, well, if I think that I author few things, or I have made few things. Well, it also is dependent upon certain factors which are given. Therefore, I cannot claim authorship of anything, because many things I feel, like car, a human being can tell I made. Clock, I have made. Well, then mobile, I have made. So people may come to this conclusion that I author. Human being can tell I author few things. Well, there also things are given to you, and they could be combined. That possibility is given to you. The laws are given to you by which you can combine everything. So authorship is only putting all the things together which are already given, and certain things you cannot mix, because it's not in law. You cannot mix fire and water. Well, you can mix two other substances which are compatible. That's a law. The certain things can be mixed, certain things just cannot be mixed. So that's a law, you cannot help. And therefore that shows that even the law by which you mix and put things together, and you say you have created, well, that laws are given to you, and the things also which you put together are also given to you. No, Swamiji, we have created. You don't know this mobile. There are factors. I mean, the components of the mobiles also we have created. Well, those components have come from some metals or some other things. That also we have created. Okay, that also has come from something else. Ultimately, you have to say that is given. Ultimately, you have to say that is given. Like a metal also is given in form of ores, right? And therefore, so ultimately you will have to say things are given. And you can purify and remove impurities and bring a pure matter. That possibility, that law is given to you. And the intelligence by which you can do all this is given to you. Everything is given. And intelligence cannot function independently. For that, body is given. The body should be there. The body is also given. Everything is given. And therefore, ultimately, the faculty is given, materials are given, laws are given. So I find myself in a world which is given. This is how we have to tell. So when I cannot claim this authorship of any given thing, then some people in the world, they say the nature has provided everything. They don't like this word God. Somehow they are so allergic by using word God. So they say nature. Well, if I am not the author, I cannot claim the authorship of a given thing. And these are the group of people in this world. They themselves call rational people. So if you want to include yourself in a rational club, you should never use a word God. And replace the word God by nature. And let the person understand whatever he wants to understand by that. I will use the word nature. And therefore the nature has given everything. And therefore, well, if the nature is the author of everything. But if you say that it is all natural, well, not something created by an individual, then it is already known to us that it is provided by the nature. But then it does not answer the question of authorship by just telling the nature has given everything. Really speaking, that our questioning faculty, that who is created, because everything you find intelligent, everything, starting from the body, starting from the senses, everything intelligently functioning and intelligently put together. Even I also, there are components which are intelligently put together so that it can function properly. It can serve a certain purpose. And therefore, that question will all the time linger in your mind. If intelligently put together things are there which serves a certain purpose, then who is that intelligent being? Who is that conscious being? Because no one will accept that unless some scientist or somebody, that intelligently put together thing could be created by inert thing. Inert thing cannot create. Must be a conscious entity who has a certain knowledge. Through his knowledge he creates, and therefore basically that cannot be an inert entity. That must be intelligent entity, must be a conscious entity. That is our experience. And then who is that conscious entity? Who is the author of everything? And therefore, even suppose somebody says, why this search for authorship? You people are all the time, you are all having so emotional about God. You want to establish the God in any manner, and therefore you bring this kind of idea. That's very correct. This rational people's argument is very, very correct in one way. You see, what they say is, well, we we miss sometimes some steps, and therefore in enthusiasm to prove the God, because we are agents of God, so we have come down here to prove his existence, and therefore in enthusiasm we say, look, see the pot is creation or not? Yeah. It's intelligently put together? Yeah, intelligently put together. Serving certain purpose? Yeah, serves a purpose. Therefore, won't you believe that there will be a pot maker? Oh, it must be there. Pot maker is intelligent being to make this? Yeah. He must have a knowledge of it? Yeah. He has a desire of it? Yeah. And he is a conscious entity or not? Yeah, he is a conscious entity. Okay. Same way this whole creation. Consider it as a pot. And therefore it is all put together. And put together intelligently, yeah. Serving a certain purpose, yes. And therefore there must be a creator, intelligent being, a conscious entity, who, like a pot maker, we will create this big pot. Don't say that. Don't say. He will say, who tells you that it is a big pot? This creation is a big pot. Who tells you? From where you have seen? Were you there before this creation? That in order to say that, look at this big pot is now created on a potter's wheel now. And the pot maker called God is sitting and giving a shape and everything. And suppose your pot maker called God is there. But from where he has brought this material? Tell me. From where he has brought this material? So much material, my God. Tons and tons, of material. Pot maker is there, then the material is different, clay is different. Okay, your pot maker is God. But from where he has brought the clay? Oh, I will refer to my books and I will come back. Over. Don't say that. Never. This argument is a foolish argument. That like pot. They have this Anumana Vakyam. Yeah. Jagat Karyam. They say like that. Jagat Karyam. Because, Jagat is created. And because it is a Karyam. And Gatavat. Like that, they give this kind of argument. It doesn't sustain. It doesn't sustain. Any intelligent being would just throw away. So we have to take help of the Shastra, otherwise we cannot tell. And that's how it is not, it is not a point to argue with somebody, really speaking. It's not a point. You cannot call the creation this universe as a creation, really speaking. That's how scientists are all the time in a process of telling this universe as it's an accident only. They are in a process of telling it as an accident. Like Big Bang is an accident, honestly. Big Bang is an accident. For us, Big Bang is an intelligent thing from which everything, ultimately all the planets and various forces and everything has come down and forces cool down and etc. etc. We say that's all intelligence manifestation. They say no, it is just an accident. And therefore, that is where the difference between us and the scientists are, so far as the creation is concerned. Of course, they are also failing, that's a different thing, but we cannot take advantage of that. What I am saying is just pointing to their fallacies. Okay, you cannot prove what is the cause of the creation. You have not arrived at the truth of that, and therefore you are wrong. We cannot tell that way. It is not fair. What I am saying is, without the help of some Apaurusheya Pramana, you cannot talk about the creation, because every Purusha is a part of the creation, and therefore no Purusha was available before the creation to be witness of the entire creation, and therefore you will have to take help of the Apaurusheya Pramana. And therefore I am sliding into the creator from the creation, but before that I have just the whole creation I am telling as a given. Scientists would not say it is a given. Scientists say it is natural. It's an accident. And nature has a inbuilt capacity. They say that nature has an inbuilt intelligence to shape into intelligent manifestation. And well, therefore, don't say that some God, intelligent being, giver, and everything is given which is put together and serving a purpose, intelligent purpose, and is it is. But I can talk to you, and I can easily put as a given, and thereby I can slowly say now there is a giver like that. So ultimately, there's a difference. That's the difference. Anyway, so why this search for authorship? We were discussing this, and there are a number of reasons for that. Well, the first reason is that my own understanding of things. When I see something special, definitely something, well, when this is a special thing, and this is not natural. Natural means it has not come down from the tree, or it has not come out of the earth, or it has not come down from the it has not fallen from the heaven, etc. And in that case, definitely I should definitely there must be an author of this who has made this. So anyway, microphone or a clock or anything you see, or even a computer, laptop, etc., anything you see, you will know that somebody who has put all these things together and intelligently so that it can serve a certain purpose. And it may be a microphone, it may be a laptop, or it may be a clock or anything. And therefore, so that search of authorship will be always there. And same way that then we call, well, if intelligently put together thing is there which serves a certain purpose and which has not come down from heaven, which has not grown over the trees, or which has not come out of the earth, then there must be an author of it. Because this is creation. Things are put together, serving a intelligent purpose, certain purpose for a human being. And therefore this is creation. And then author, the creator, must be there. Because things just can't arrange on its own. Things, the components of it don't arrange on its own. Those components are also made. Those components are made with a certain purpose in the mind, that they should be used for mobile, etc. And therefore, so if you establish this as a creation, definitely creator will come. If you cannot establish this as a creation, but naturally it has come down, well, then there is no need of establishing a creator. But if you say this is a creation, and creation is equal to nothing but intelligently put together, a thing which is intelligently put together, serving a certain purpose. That's called creation. That's our definition. And then intelligently put together implies a creator who is an intelligent being, having a certain knowledge, having a certain abilities, skills to create this. Right? And therefore, creator comes into the picture when you establish this as a creation, not as a natural. It is not part of the nature like that. It is, or come down from the heaven or any other thing. And therefore, and I come across thousands of things like that every day. And therefore, definitely, the issue of authorship will definitely be there. Who has created this? And I'm sure you and me in this lifetime will never come across, will never say hi, hello to the creator of this. I'm sure you will never come across of this. You know there is a creator of it. But I'm sure that who has really created, you will never come across. Still you will believe that there is a creator. That's how it is. That's how it is. Most of the things which we use in our daily life, I am sure, starting from the bucket in our bathroom or the taps which you use, you won't find a creator, or you will meet a creator in your lifetime. I'm sure you will not meet. But still you believe it because you have considered a bucket or a tap or a fountain or anything for that matter, or a shower, let's say, anything, you consider it as a creation. So since you confront every day creation, the things which are intelligently put together and serving a certain purpose, the issue of authorship will be there. I mean, who has created this? Who has created this? So far as this is concerned, okay, you resolve the issue that there is some human being who has created. But so far as this entire creation is concerned, well, the issue will be there, who has created this. So I understand that there is no pot without a potter. So how can I ever think of a pot without a pot maker, etc., or a clock without a maker of it? So a clock is a creation because it is intelligently put together, etc., etc. And therefore, same way, now instead of this, I put this. This body also is intelligently put together. It is also a creation. But I can trace the authorship of this mobile to a particular creator, a human being, at least this much. Not a specific human being, but you can definitely trace back. But here, even you can trace, for a honeycomb also. It's a natural, compared to this. Natural means somebody else must have made. So for a honeycomb also is a creation, we can tell. And we know that honeys have made it. Or a web. Okay, a spider have made it. But so far as this body is concerned, that is also intelligently put together. And whether it is intelligently put together or not, if you ask to a doctor, he will tell you that it's so wonderful design and things are arranged so beautifully and with a delicate balance and everything inside. Therefore, the issue of authorship, who has created, will remain. And it has to be resolved. It has to be resolved. Well, the scientists and the Vedantins differ here. Scientists won't call it as a creation. Because if they call it as a creation, then they will have to say it is intelligently put together with a certain purpose, and then some intelligence should be involved. Then intelligence is involved is conscious being involved. And conscious being involved means Ishvara comes into the picture. So they will never accept the universe as a creation. They will never accept. Anyway, we don't bother. But because for us, we don't go to universe. We don't go to black holes and galaxies and Milky Ways. No, we don't go anywhere. We jump simply. I look into my eye and I can say, well, it is intelligently put together, serving a purpose, and therefore there is some intelligence is involved. That intelligence is Ishvara. How can you say, Swamiji, how dare you are telling that? With the help of Shastra. With the help of Shastra, Shastra can tell me, well, this Apaurushaya, well, who is not available locally, right? Anyone locally available is not an author, because it's a part of the whole creation. Anyone who is available, any intelligent being who is available in the creation is a part of the creation, and therefore it cannot create. It must be someone else other than the creation. Well, must be the author of it, definitely. And therefore, I will definitely question who is author, etc. And the author must be other than this case, outside the world who has created that. And outside the world means what? Outside the world means what? Now that is the issue to be resolved, which will resolve the issue of Upadana Karanam also. We'll see that tomorrow. I'll give you a small meditation and then we'll stop. So I think day before yesterday we did with Ramanama, so we'll continue with that. We will chant in the same form, Ramanama. Ram, 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 Ram. When you chant, open your mouth well and chant. follow the rhythm. Now you chant. Now you listen. Ram, 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 Ram. I am aware of the silence. I am aware of the silence. I turn my attention towards the awarer of silence. Who is conscious of silence? Who is conscious of the silence? Repeat the word. Consciousness and see the meaning. That will give you the answer. Repeat the word awarer of the silence and see the meaning. Awarer of silence. Who is the awarer? Awarer is awareness or consciousness. The awarer is consciousness. Repeat the word consciousness. See the meaning. You can keep on repeating at regular intervals the same word, consciousness. 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 In this consciousness is the body, is the ticking of the clock, is the earth, the sky, the space. Consciousness, free, ever free. From notions. from everything. Consciousness. Consciousness. See the meaning without a word. Consciousness. Consciousness. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.